I think I'd like to dedicate this episode to Earl Cooper.
Earl Cooper.
He was a whistleblower in the auto industry when they were trying to do something wrong and something evil. And then,
As far as manufacturers or government?
yeah, a manufacturer.
Okay.
And, and sometimes, and this is back, a while ago, and I mean, there was some kind of teamstery, more a mobstery kind of involvement, not the Teamsters you see now today.
Right.
Just auto union workers.
Like 70s, 80s Teamsters.
But it's, the mafia tie kind of a thing.
Okay.
So he got blacklisted from these auto companies, and he just got thrown out. But he was a brilliant engineer and mechanic, really.
Kind of like when Ford were covering up all the cars burning down.
Yeah,
in
maybe.
The 80s.
Yeah,
He's the guy that blew the whistle on that.
Same kind of thing. And he, but he couldn't get work. He was out,
Uh-huh.
And then.
So what did he do for work then?
Well, I mean,
Did he move on to some other
there was
career?
The Thomas Wayne Foundation and other people he worked for that. Bruce Wayne, the CEO of Thomas of the Thomas Wayne Foundation and Wayne Industries, did see his talent.
I see.
And also saw that he was blacklisted and couldn't find work elsewhere, but brilliant guy.
So he found work. Good. I mean, it's hard. It's
he had a small shop. He was starting on his own, but
it's hard to have a brilliant mind and know where to work.
And there's a rogue vigilante.
Oh.
I think he's. Some people say, we shouldn't be doing what he's doing. We need to do things by the letter of the law, but also an outcast in the same vein as Earl Cooper.
I see.
And
okay,
saw maybe a kindred spirit in that because
Bruce and Earl had a kindred spirit?
Well, during a car chase with notorious mobster, the Penguin.
Okay, yeah.
Oswald Cobblepot. The Batmobile had
lost its wheel.
Quite a bit of issues, and the Joker got and they were able to get it to Earl Cooper's garage, but since it's not a flashy garage, it was an underground place in Gotham that he was able to get the Batmobile to him.
Okay.
And he fixed the Batmobile for Batman.
And
just him and his daughter.
Is this the Michael Keaton or the Bruce or the Adam West?
This is the only TV show that matters, the Batman, the animated series.
Oh, the animated series.
From 1993.
1993 animated.
The episode was called The Mechanic. And
I see.
So such a good episode. It's my favorite. I love it so much, dude.
It's an animated. So the point was the Batmobile got fixed, and thanks to
the
Earl.
The episode's called The Mechanic, and you have to watch it, especially if you love Batman and
oh, well, I mean, who doesn't?
And you turn wrenches, because he was Batman's hero.
Turn wrenches.
Yeah, it was pretty bitchin', dude.
Okay.
I think you have to appreciate it.
I feel like you had a segue going there. What's your segue with that?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk about other influential. I don't know, because cars are emotional, and sometimes you get a.
Gosh, cars can be, yeah. Depends on your soul, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your soul today.
Oh.
But yeah, where's your relationship with Jesus Christ, Greg? Let's talk about that live on the podcast.
It's wide open.
That's then also just how storytelling comes into play with cars, and a lot of people buy cars for the story, and also a lot of people buy cars based off of something that happened to them in the past, or they get attached to it that's more than what the vehicle is on its own.
And a lot of stories are told because of the car.
For sure. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Drove the kid home in the hospital in this car or whatever. So,
and not only that,
went on a first date
and
with
it's because we used this car, this scenario happened.
Sure.
Things like that.
And even though it's cliche to have a podcast about movie cars, I do think that there's some really good stuff out there, and I think that's part of anybody.
Let's talk about movie cars.
Who's got anybody who's got a podcast these days has to talk about movie cars.
Okay, let's set up some rules though.
We're required by law.
Let's not talk about certain movie cars because they've been talked to death. How's that?
The Bullet movie was the greatest car chase scene of all time.
If we talk about that movie, we talk
Steve
about
McQueen, man.
We talk about 68 Charger then.
The Charger, man, the bad guy car, dude. That's why I'm into it, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Christine.
Those Mustangs are cool. And if I saw that movie for the first time, I would agree with you. I'm excited about.
Yeah. You know, I got excited for the 58 Fury because Christine came out when I was in high school, and that was just delicious, et cetera, et cetera. You talk about the known common movie cars that are always talked about, the American Graffiti cars, the 55 Chevy, the 58 Chevy, the Blues Brothers car, the Smokey and the Bandit car. Those are always talked about. Let's talk about the other movie cars like Gumball Run.
What is your favorite
Gumball
car movie?
Rally?
What's your favorite car movie?
Oh my gosh,
Gumball
dude.
Movie? Like just...
You know, we started talking about this yesterday, and I started thinking, what is my favorite car chase movie? And I have
car chase movie, yeah.
Or just car movie, I guess. You know, movie where cars the character, a functioning character in the movie.
You want to just say Disney cars? You can.
Which one?
It's a safe place.
We can talk for 80 minutes about 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
But that's not real.
I did notice when you leaned over that you do have a Lightning McQueen tramp stamp tattoo. It says ka-chow. Never knew that about
You're
you,
supposed to save that for the website.
Okay, yeah.
Gosh darn it.
I think it's a good
How'd
one.
you let... Cat out of the bag, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, you're supposed to save that for the website. Ka-chow.
Although, yeah, Cars movie, the cartoon, you have to love it. It's so good. And it was written by enthusiasts, and
And there's so many little cues throughout the whole movie.
Although the eyeballs are in the wrong place, and everybody knows it. You can't have eyes on the windshield screen.
Well, I bet the car's alive. So
You have to put them in the eye, and the eyes are in the headlights, and everybody knows this.
Do they get arthritis? Do they get joint pain? I mean, was that why? Do their doors actually open?
And it's just guts falling out or whatever of it.
What happened? I mean, what's inside?
Somebody did like a autonomous
autonomous
of and nobody knows their name who drew it, but they
anatomy.
drew an anatomically correct cutaway of a cartoon car.
Oh,
and it's so gross.
Okay.
And they had like a human inside it controlling things, but it had a bunch of squishy organs all around him and stuff. Oh, it's so gross and so funny.
Nice.
Yeah, and I need to space it off between looking
His name was
at
Anita?
that image versus 6 months later I could watch the cartoon again.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, ew.
All right.
It's funny.
That's gross and cool all at once.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie with cars?
After doing a bunch of research, I've only seen parts of some of these movies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's because that we went to Shelby, America, that the Gumball Rally is going to be one of the cooler movies simply because of amount of money and vehicles that they used in that car, and they didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Totally, that it's there's just so many cool stuff in the background and during the race too.
Right. From
it's just a fun, cartoony kind of fun movie.
It is a cartoony kind of thing where the sheriff is chasing him across the U.S. What's his name? Buford T. Justice, and he's not as
not obeying any of these jurisdiction laws. Yeah.
Well, and he's not as exuberant. What's the word? Gosh, I can't think of it right. Anyway,
Excommunicated?
no. Anyway,
Exegesis?
that movie is crazy because they had one of 166 Ferrari
Daytona?
Spider.
Yeah, the Daytona Spider, yeah.
And they only built 166 of them, but they have a lot of them out there that look like it because they would cut them.
But only 166 of the convertibles. They had a lot more coupes.
That were produced.
Yeah. Did you...
They used body number 688 for that. So it was an early version of it all.
Gosh, I mean...
They were built from 68 to 73, and only 121 were Spiders.
Oh, my dad loves that car. He thinks it's one of the prettiest things ever. I think it's
an attractive car. I don't know if it's one of the best, but it's one of my top
okay.
Ferrari favorites.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm like, is it evil of me to think that, like,
I saw a Dino Sunday.
that some Nissans are prettier 'cause in the same era? Like the Nissan 240 is like I think it's prettier than that.
Or the Toyota 2000.
Toyota 2000 GT is even better, even because it's quirkier
I saw a blue Dino
and flip-up headlights.
on the road driving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Sunday.
a Scoopy car.
it was insanely awesome. So bulbous.
Voluptuous, bulbous.
But
know.
that movie has two real Cobras in it. It has
Imagine if you're Ferrari Dino, like your name is Dino, Ferrari, and like
I saw a Dino.
and people would walk by you at the car shows, obviously, and somebody's like going, "That Dino is so sexy. He's like, it's just so curvaceous and stuff. I just want to wash it. I just want
to wax it all over.
Dino." And
I could spend all weekend waxing
he's
it.
got to be standing there going, "Hi, President's son." I'm so just blushing there,
Right.
Like just somebody walking by and going, "Hey, that that Jeff, man, he is so sexy. He's so curvaceous.
Bulbous.
Bulbous. That's a guy's name, dude. Okay, watch out." Yeah, I agree with the Ferrari Daytona. They can be super, super cool. I think it's just one of those things that it's an association, because I don't think that they are crazily designed. Maybe now, looking at back at them, but and you can do a lot of movie stuff that car was in, but and if you're a fan of Daytonas that you might not know about, is something called NART racing, N-A-R-T, and it was like a North American racing with Ferraris and Italian cars and stuff like that.
Cool.
So they raced the Daytona Ferrari, and it was gorgeous. It was amazing.
I always thought that the Coupe was a good-looking car. I mean, It's not one of my all-time favorite good-looking cars, but if I were to choose through the Ferraris throughout the years,
Right.
it would be one of my top Ferraris.
And then had
Top Ferrari picks, I guess is how you say
not
it.
to just beat that Daytona Spider into the ground, but Miami Vice.
You had the
Talk
fake
about
one,
that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they made him get rid of it and give him a...
Yeah, and
Testarossa.
Enzo didn't like that they were driving a kit car in Miami Vice, Daytona Spider, and it looked the wheels were a little too wide. Something was goofy about it. Yeah,
You could tell it was the kit car.
yeah,
Most motorheads could. Most Americans didn't.
yeah. And then so they said they talked with Ferrari, and they because the Ferrari wanted them to get rid of that kit car, and Ferrari's so happy about their image, and. And they said, well, you're representing this car as a real Ferrari. And then somehow they negotiated to get the Testarossa sent to them for that. The
white one, right?
The white Testarossa. But they had to get rid of and never show that Daytona on screen ever again.
Right. Well, the one that in Gumball Rally is...
Well, I'm sorry, but they exploded it on
that's right,
TV too,
That's
to
right.
get rid of it, to actually show, which I love that part.
I
It's
remember you telling me that, yeah.
Let's get rid of it in a spectacular way. And so it was like some bad guy or whatever, cut the fuel line or whatever else, and kaboom. I don't know.
I think the crazy thing about this movie car is the fact that...
in Gumball Rally?
Yeah, Jack Nicklaus bought it after the movie.
The golfer or the Joker?
Nicholson. Sorry. I can't remember. I read so many articles, dude.
I mean, they both golf.
But this car was set up specifically for the U.S. market. It was left-hand drive. It was left-hand this, and it had certain things that made it the U.S. ordered car. And that's one of 121 that was ordered for U.S. spec.
Man, okay.
All the others were ordered for other specs, right? So then this one got a gray stripe around the nose of it because that's how that Jack, whichever one it was, wanted it. I mean, right after the movie, he bought it.
Okay.
And then one of the guys that worked on the movie, one of the stunt guys, he bought it after Jack. And then it went to Mel Blanc's son.
Mel Blanc, the guy who does Bugs Bunny cartoon voices.
Well, Mel Blanc actually bought it himself. Oh. He was a car guy. Huh. He had Corvettes, Ferraris, and all kinds of Jaguars and stuff.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until now either. But his son got it after Mel passed away, and then a Ferrari collector in Southern California still has it now.
Okay, well,
and it still has 16,000 miles on it. It's only been restored like a couple times to be movie authentic. And the fact that it's one of 121, they only had that car. It was the hero car. It was the stunt car through the whole movie.
Is this the rearview mirror scene? This is that one?
Raul, what was his name? Joel Raul.
The guy from the Addams Family?
Yeah. I can't remember the actor's name.
I believe that's his name.
Raul Julia, yeah. It was Franco Bertonelli.
Eccentric Italian driver, cliche Italian driver.
And he's got the white hick boy next to him as the co-driver.
Yeah, in that scene, the rearview mirror, they hop in the car first time, he grabs the rearview mirror and breaks it off and throws it away. What is behind
Casually
us?
Shucks it over his shoulder.
What is behind us does not matter, or whatever.
Right.
Takes off. Yeah, so if you have a Daytona Spider, all 166 of you, you should really not have...
121.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. We just lost 40 people.
And I'm not sure how many are still on the road, actually. So some of them...
Well, none of them should have a rearview mirror.
None of them.
You should always... If you see it at the car show and they don't have a rearview mirror, they're doing it right.
But then in the trailer for the movie, there's a particular scene where they're being chased by a helicopter, and both people in the car are looking at those door mirrors like, where's that helicopter? Where's that helicopter? If you had a rear view. Anyway, the other interesting thing about that movie was the 427 car Cobra CSX number 3243. It was a real Cobra, and that movie had two authentic Cobras. I think the other one was 3256 or something like that, and then it had a replica that they used for the Crash 'em Bash 'em and stuff like that. But that particular car, that was the hero car that was used for all the shots and stuff, they took the I can't remember which way it is. Either they took the 427 out and put in a side oiler 428 to save the original motor, or they took out the 428 and put in a 427 side oiler.
When did that movie come out? Was it
76?
That takes some.
So that was an 11-year-old car at that point.
Yeah, but that's some forethought too. Only 11 years old of a car. I mean, that's pretty good.
Right.
Thinking about that, that you have a 2003 car or whatever now, and that you're thinking of, this is going to be amazing someday.
It's supposedly a Camaro SS of something, or a Mustang of some collaboration, right? Yeah. Something like that.
But yeah, to think, okay.
Because a Cobra back then was still something cool, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't that expensive back then, but yeah, that's great. Shows some mechanical sympathy that the guy
well played
would think to preserve that car, or maybe it was just owned by somebody else and they couldn't. Had to recreate it.
Back then, a lot of the cars went to whoever worked on the lot. Like a lot of the stunt coordinators or the stunt guys would buy the cars. Okay. Sometimes the actors from other movies would see that car on set and buy it.
Man car, yeah, that you got to go.
Because, and that's a good segue for the movie Vanishing Point.
Well, yeah. I guess there's pragmatism in having the hero car.
Yeah.
And there that before you go out to just, you don't want to destroy the car that's in all the glamour shots.
The close-ups.
So you have a bunch of other things that are in the background for common use to be thrown away.
But that brings up two other movies in my mind: Crazy Larry and Dirty Mary, and The Vanishing Point. The Charger RT and the Challenger RT used in those movies, and how many of those they had for those movies.
If you watch Vanishing Point, it is one of the cringiest movies
1971.
I've ever seen my entire life, and I felt like I had to watch it based just off a car guy obligation.
Yeah.
So that I could know what they were talking about. It is the dumbest movie of all time, probably. And it made me angry watching it, going, this is what people are into? You guys love this movie?
I think it's just the fact that they abuse the car so much through the whole movie is what makes it so it's like a crash up derby movie for the whole movie.
Yeah, but can I spoil it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not too soon.
No,
but he dies at the end, like in some kind of heroic thing, like they'll never get me, and then he runs into this like
the blade of the bulldozer
to die and explode or whatever.
And they used a Camaro to
and
do
I
it.
was like going, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's over.
Well, they did the same thing in Crazy Larry, Dirty Mary. They crash into the side of an oncoming train, and the car blows up. And that actual boom kabloom is used in the beginning of the Fall Guy TV series.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
It is. So, I mean, okay. So what I was going to say about the Challengers in Vanishing Point was they were provided by Chrysler. They gave them 71 Challengers, yeah, and 4 of them were 444 speeds, and 1 of them was a 383 automatic.
Yeah,
but they were all RTs.
Yeah, I mean, all of them have worked quite a bit and everything. Have you driven old Mopar muscle cars?
Yes.
How do you feel about them?
I like them.
Yeah,
Uncle Tim had them, and he had all versions of them, so I got to see different things. He was the kind of guy that would spend hours and years and months building cars and never knew what it sounded like, so luckily he'd be jump in the car and drive around the block.
Greg's also literally wearing a Mopar t-shirt right now, too,
actually,
with all their logos on it.
I didn't even realize that today.
That's funny.
But
okay, that's kind of what I was hinting at, like your shirt.
I would drive around the block so he could hear his cars, and some of them, almost all of them were automatics, but every once in a while you get a 4-speed and then it would become an automatic. But I got to drive cool fun cars. 73 Charger, 68 Dart.
What do you mean by it would become an automatic?
Because he never left anything as it was.
Oh, you swap it to an automatic? Like for drag racing kind of purposes? Because there's a lot of drag racers that go automatic.
He likes the automatic. He was a drag racer, yeah.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I like automatics in bigger trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of, it almost seems like I for all the purposes of towing and that it can take some of the slack out of it can take a shock to the driveline, basically, like meaning that
you're dumping the clutch to change gears, going uphill to keep momentum.
Especially when you have a trailer behind you.
Yeah, gotcha.
You'll burn out your clutch, and also it gives like a shock to the transmission and the engine and everything.
Yeah.
Just shakes it, and versus a slush
box,
literally of hydraulic fluid being able to take some of the.
Well, I've driven both the Cummins 6-speeds manuals, and those are fucking fun to drive. And I've driven the Allison-backed Duramaxes.
Yeah.
And having the ability to just step on the brake when you're coming down a hill, and the automatic goes, okay, we're going to stay at this speed. We can do that for you. There's nothing like that. But at the same time, you can go from 6th gear to 4th gear and go down the hill and enjoy that. But you're absolutely valid in going uphill. You're putting quite the strain on the drivetrain. Go, oh shit, we got to go from 4th to 2nd.
Yeah, and I don't ever rag on people for getting an automatic. I understand it too. That you don't have any testosterone.
And it also depends on your driving style.
You're not gonna ever talk to women
and how big your purse is.
You decided, like, hey, time to transition. Whatever. I get that you want to get an automatic over. I
love a good Bruce box.
And in your muscle car, or sports car. But sorry, just stupid jokes. But yeah, when it's a truck, it makes sense because it's fit for purpose on that stuff. I know it's another tangent, but is there a 70s car movie that's not super cringy? Like, Vanishing Point feels so weird to watch, and I get that probably there'll be the same thing with the next generation looking at Fast and Furious if they don't already feel that way right now. Because I will defend Fast and Furious, to the death, because I do love how weird and stupid it is, and I love that they're going to space in the Fiero now. I love it. I don't care, because it was kind of like they were joking around in the audience and the memes and stuff with the Fast and Furious. They just said, "Okay, let's just do it."
I'd never known. I stopped watching after the third and fourth one, so I have no idea what you're referring to.
Well, now we got a project to do.
Well, I think to answer your question about why is the Vanishing Point so awesome, because they just kept crashing and crashing, and it's the same car getting beat up through the whole movie. And the same thing with Crazy Larry Mary. They had 3 cars for that one. 2 69s and a 68, and they used the 68 to crash into the train at the end.
Does it ever take you out of the movie where you see like a crash like that and you go, "Oh, that car's not gonna move anymore"?
Gone in 60 Seconds, the original one.
And you go, "It can't be done." You go, "Okay, pick up another movie and let's get going."
The highway scene where the Cadillac cuts him off and he does a 360 and hits the light pole. Mm-hmm. That freaking pole.
Yeah.
Almost hits the motor, man. That's how hard he hits that. That he was hurt.
Yeah.
There's no way any stuntman, anybody walked away from that without being hurt. And the car, he's all drives like,
yeah.
Okay, at that point I was like, I'm done watching.
I guess so. That's why the Batmobile is the best movie car ever of all time.
Because it can blow up.
Nicholas as a Joker.
And still keep.
Because it's more than just a car. It's a superhero, and it doesn't have to obey the same laws of physics or anything else. The Batmobile and
it's a vigilante. It doesn't obey
Michael
any
Keaton
laws.
Batmobile. It can. It go through fire. It can explode. It shoots out grappling guns to turn around corners faster. And then it transforms into rocket cars when it's going down narrow alleys.
Which one are we talking about, bro? There's several.
The Tim Burton Batmobile.
Oh, Michael Keaton. Got it.
Michael Keaton, okay. Tim Burton ones.
Yeah, that one was very cool.
Ketchup, Greg. Come on.
There's ketchup in them?
Ketchup. Yes.
Is there mustard and mayo? Skip it. Come on.
No, you're just throwing off my stupid. With your stupid.
Your stupid's affecting my stupid. Ugh. Quit it out.
No, I think that Batmobile was the best thing ever when it was on screen, shooting flames literally out the back.
The turbine.
Yeah, because it was like
it's not a turbo, it's a turbine.
And maybe that's part of it why I love Batmobiles so much. Obviously, Batmobiles, everything about Batmobiles is cool. But
Batman.
Yeah, and screw you, Thomas Kearney.
How many times can you say Batman?
Batman's the greatest hero of all time. And I don't care how many memes you send me that say otherwise. You're wrong, Thomas Kearney.
I feel Superman's the best alien, that superhero.
Yeah, if you go up to Thomas Kearney at LAMD and say, "Hey, can you make me a Batarang?" which is obvious because he has this big CNC mill, and that's his only job as a machinist and designer. It's like, and he goes, "No," right away to you. I'm like going, "Come on, dude. You can't do that." He goes, "I can. I'm not going to."
I won't.
I'm like going, I go, "Just a Batarang. How horrible is that?"
Pretty.
"I'll buy it. I'll pay you the time and labor." And he goes, No, I'm not doing anything Batman. I go, he wants to be like an artist, and you can't like go walk up to him and say that you want something that he can't like do with ultimate precision and beauty or whatever. I don't know. A Batarang is beautiful, and Thomas Kearney should build them. And then if you ever wanted to make money and be cool, then he would do it. Moving right along. Have you ever seen one of those like Tim Burton Batmobiles in person?
No.
It is amazing.
Is there one here in Colorado at that?
Oh, what, the Forney Museum or something?
The one up north.
I know what you mean. That Rods and Bods,
Whatever
movie,
it is, yeah. We
museum.
still have yet to go to
Yeah,
it.
they're moving again from Greeley to another location soon, so we gotta go find them. But
Yeah.
I saw it at a Colorado Car Show, but it was in the matte black, and it's imposing. Like,
Okay.
it is humongous.
Yeah, I remember that.
Twice as wide as a normal car, twice as long, and
That's what I tell
it's
her.
awesome. Yeah, exactly. And with the wings and the flames and everything exaggerated, and bombs
The
and
pop-up machine guns
turbines and guns that pop out of the top.
out of the fenders and doesn't part of it turn into a motorcycle at one point or something?
It did.
Or is that a different
Batman
one?
Returns movie? They released the side pods and then the wheels slide in. So, which also means that your turbine can't fit in there, but it doesn't mean
Doesn't mean
that
it's
doesn't
not
work.
real.
It just means that the car is better than what physics will allow.
And it doesn't mean it's not real.
It doesn't mean
Am I-
it's not real.
For real.
It just means that it's more special than you can get your mind around.
Yeah, for real, Ninja. For real.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go around going, "That's not a real car."
You can't.
Of course, it's not a real car, dude. It's a superhero. It's a character. It's bigger than what you think, what you can build with your hands.
How many versions did they have for the movies?
Versions for just that movie, or
For the Batmobiles, how many versions?
Dude, there's like 60 different Batmobiles, man.
No, of the Michael Keaton ones. How many did they use for those movies?
Oh, I don't know.
You
But
didn't
I
go
don't-
nerd like me on this.
I assume there's only one.
Because all you need
it's
is one great
bigger
one.
than life, and it's special and super, and has magic, and that's what makes it fast. Batman doesn't have superpowers. The Batmobile does. And there's only one. You thought you cornered me.
I just
You didn't
love
think
how,
of my magic of a defense.
I just love how you're so steadfast with.
Well, it's just the best car ever. I can't get over it. I love that thing.
The best movie car.
Yeah, dude. And I think it is incredible. It's a character in the movie. And when you can write a movie and have the vehicle itself be a character, no matter who's driving it, whether it be Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton or
Buster
some guy
Keaton.
from Twilight movies driving it, it's still super awesome.
Christian Bale.
Well, no, I mean Robert Pattinson. He's in Twilight.
Okay, so does that mean like the Thelma Louise car isn't part of the movie, but it is one of the characters, and it's important? If they would have had like a Hyundai Scoop instead of a
Instead
convertible
of
T-Bird,
what was like a '66 T-Bird.
that would have been a different movie, right?
I don't know. It still had to be a convertible classic car. I think it was one of those things where it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It couldn't be a Hyundai Scoop. It had to be something like that.
I think so.
It couldn't have been a Mustang.
If they had like a little rental, Hyundai or whatever, then it wouldn't be quite the same thing of breaking away and going on this
having
freedom
sex with
thing.
Brad Pitt and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
The Family Truckster made the movie, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't have the what was the other model that Eugene Levy was trying to sell him in that?
I don't know.
I can't remember the other model.
Was it a Ferrari of some sort or whatever?
No, it was just a blue station wagon instead of the green one.
I need to watch those ones again. But yeah, it's just I love it. I love it when the car's the character, the main thing of the movie, and I think that maybe just every movie with Christian Bale is going to be fun, but it's like, let's bring it back to Batman, okay, and start talking about the Tumbler for a little while. Tumbler is the best, most functional Batmobile.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it can jump bridges.
Let's bring it back.
And they had a ton of cool things. Also, Lucius Fox is an awesome character. You got going. That's who I want to be. Is Lucius Fox, where you got to be in the skunk works of Wayne Industries, building awesome cars and trucks and batarangs for Batman.
I think the Wraith
And Thomas Kearney doesn't want to be Lucius Fox.
I think the Wraith would have given the Batmobile a run for its money.
The Wraith?
Yeah. Yeah. The
This-
Chrysler
This
V6
episode
prototype
is now
car.
for Emery Geiger, one guy. Only.
Now Jeff Dunham owns it now.
Yeah, but the Tumbler in Batman
Yeah. Moving along.
went through walls literally, and on the movie set they had to actually do the stunts. It actually did its own stunts. It didn't have some kind of
Step-in car.
step-in car with a slant six under the hood to
Jesus
hit school buses. No, it had its own major big block Chevy engine, and it shot over bridges and jumped, and it did everything that they said in the movie. And,
So
and
did
you can
the Fall
see
Guy truck.
behind the scenes of them jumping it off of ramps and everything in
And the Dukes of Hazzard car.
on YouTube.
All of them jumped. They did it. Same with the Vanishing Point. They used the
What's
car.
with the Dukes? Speaking of other movie
not
shows, I guess
crazy.
these are TV show cars too. But
Yeah, that's TV shows.
what about
And those are Talk to Death anyway.
Okay. I'm not into the rebel flag
That's
on the hood of the.
I'm pretty
generally.
sure. I'm pretty sure that's a fib. I saw one flying on your truck the other day.
It's not true. I go. Why do you want to? Why do you want to raise a flag to tell everybody that you're a loser? You know, it's like we lost in the Civil War, and then you're holding on to it, and it's a Civil War that's supposed to, divide America. It's such a lame thing. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That's the one thing that I'll agree with the blue-haired
Easy for you to say.
crazy guys that I don't like rebel flags because I think it's a demonstration of the losing side that also stands for who fought to keep racism alive.
So does that mean Japan has to get a new flag?
What's that?
Does that mean Japan has to get a new flag, and Germany and France?
Why is there still a Germany? Have you heard that Norm Macdonald sketch?
Because you want BMWs and Audis.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
we can do that without a Germany. We could just call it Denmark. Bigger Denmark.
Dunkirk,
I don't know.
Frankfurt,
Austria, too.
Copenhagen.
Whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah, that Norm Macdonald way that's a hilarious one too.
because he
yes.
just said, those. And who did Germany go against? Chooses their enemy, the world. and then after they finish the First World War and they get back together, they once again go to war against the world. And it's like, you think we wouldn't allow Germany to exist anymore, so that doesn't happen again? But nope, there they are, still around.
For a long time, there was two of them, East and
So
West
funny.
Germany.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Robin Williams did the good one when the German interviewer is asking her, there's not a lot of comedy in Germany. Why do you think that is? And he says, because you killed all of them?
He killed all the comedians. Yeah, exactly.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
That interview's over.
Super true. But anyways, so I think we've gotten pretty far already. Is there any new good movies out there? I can't think of anything better than Ford versus Ferrari.
Right, because even that's full of CGI shit.
A little bit, but not all of it.
And the Indian, that was a great one.
World's Fastest Indian.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But there was still CGI to make it all happen. Whereas, man, even up until the 90s, they were still crashing and going through walls for real.
Yeah, but it's a story and stuff. It's a great movie, the Ford versus Ferrari.
It is. But the realism is what real car guys see and stuff. If you've actually wrecked a car, you know what it's like, whether it's real or not in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, so they try so hard to give us that ultimate entertainment and give us, okay, this is as real as we can make it and keep it safe and keep it cost effective and keep it, we're not destroying everything on the planet. We're just we're making up what's being destroyed, blah, 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 But there's that realism's gone, if you ask me, where the authentic crumpling of the fender going into the door. But then again, I've done collision for so long that I know what it looks like when it crashes for real.
But you can't suspend some disbelief. You don't like movies about dragons and wizards. Stares blankly. Are you mad or are you happy? Have you just realized, oh yeah, there are movies about dragons and wizards that I love?
God, no. I cannot watch that shit.
No? Okay.
I can't suspend disbelief, like you say, for Star Wars.
Well, yeah,
Can't
and like the whole time I'm like watching any dragons or wizards movies, I'm like going, I go, just like there's Lord of the Rings, you go like, it's like, okay, hop on the eagle and fly it and drop it over the volcano. Done. Problem solved. We don't have to watch 3 more movies.
The Twilight series.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can suspend disbelief in the fact that if it has something to do with a car, but at the same time, if I see a car jump 100 yards, I know that car's not driving away.
Yeah.
But I can suspend my for that kind of. I don't know why I can't. I'm too logical. I'm too literal.
No, yeah, and then there's movies that like that take you out of it and stuff. Speed Racer, whatever. It's like, okay, this is all cartoony. I can't relate to this.
Yeah, right.
And then you want some gritty realism that actually you can relate to, and you go, yes, I know in that situation, I would don the suit and avenge my parents because of Robert Pattinson. New depiction of Batman in the latest Batman movie. It was great, and you understood his heartbreaking and what drove him down into this darkness, and the ultimate darkness of going into a cave and building a menacing vehicle that will defend
Gotham City
from going into the same hole that he had to. Okay? And that car, that kind of Challenger-esque rear-engined trophy truck chassis Batmobile is incredible. And the first time you see it, it's like, oh, in the theater, oh my gosh, dude. I saw it. I went and bought a second ticket like the next weekend to see the new Batman movie for that one single scene of when they turned the Batmobile on for the first time. I won't go deeper into it, but I will go deeper into it. It just lights up blue, and it's like this boom out of this dark shadow that comes out of. Oh my gosh, dude! And that was real fear on the Penguin's face as he's running away from it, dude. That was such a good amount of shots in that one scene, and then you can turn it off. Once the Batmobile's off screen, you can turn off the movie. But
that reminds me of James Bond getting his new car from Q every time. And don't push that button.
Try to bring it back in one piece. Well, yeah, all that stuff.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on the James Bond cars and how groovy those.
Those were always my favorite parts of any James Bond movies when he's talking to Q about it and like picking up a pen and it's shooting off a dart or whatever.
Right.
It hits guy in the neck in the background and he passes out or whatever, just like the wackiness there. That was my favorite.
And then
part
he always has some kind of coy line to say afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And what does this do? That's my lunch, Bond. Don't touch my sandwich or whatever. It was so good. The stupid stuff like that, but it made me so happy. I wish hopefully there's like something on YouTube where it's just stitching scenes of stitching together all the
Q cars,
Q
deliveries.
In the lab. Yeah, exactly. That's really good. Wouldn't it be great? Okay, we could, if we just built a mechanic shop where we're just building the cars for the superheroes.
No.
Just like.
No,
just build Batmobiles. We become Earl Cooper, Lucius Fox, Q.
You can go ahead. Go ahead. Let you take the reins on that one.
This is your villain origin story right here, man.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be the guy that's building super trucks and Mad Max machines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to choose wisely, man, what side you're on in this battle, okay? For the heart of Gotham.
With power comes respect and responsibility.
Your supervillain power will be slightly slightly off quoting all these movie lines.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you're just left there dumbfounded going, what did he just actually say to us? And then I surprise attack you.
Surprise.
And you're done.
Neck punch.
Huh. Pink Panther surprise attack. Steve Martin. Gilbert always punches him first. Anyway, the movie cars.
Sorry. Made Greg do all this research and I just tried just to be an ass
Just keep
to him.
shooting me down with Batmobiles. It's hilarious.
That is another thing too about Batmobiles is that Batman doesn't use guns, but he does.
He has machine guns.
But he has machine guns on the Batmobiles. He shoots with his car, but not with his hands. I think that's his thing. It's not Batmobile's oath was not, or Batman's oath was not to
Kill the
never
criminals.
use guns. It was to never touch them with his gloved hand.
Deadly force.
It was to use them as long as they're attached to the front fenders of my Batmobile. Then
He did shoot rockets out of some of those too.
I remember Bruce Wayne standing over his parents' grave saying, "I will not use a gun
Oh shit! Dude.
because it killed my parents. I will be a couple feet away from the guns that I will shoot other people with to take revenge." That was always weird, you know. And then the Ben Affleck Batman, he shot stuff and he shot guns, and then he had
one.
guns all over.
The only one I saw where Ben Affleck was Ben Batman was
Ben Batfleck.
Yeah, Superman versus Batman and Wonder Woman was all in there. That was the only one I ever saw.
So you have seen it.
I only saw it once, and I was like, yeah, that's enough. I lived the rest of my life never wasting those 2 hours again.
It was a lot. It was a weird one. Yeah, whatever.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, and I like the Batman parts of those movies.
The Batman parts of those shows were the bestest, Craig.
Is there?
If you don't believe me, just ask me.
Was there ever? I know that they. Was there ever other movies that actually you saw that you go, "I'm going to buy that car one day"? That was in a movie.
Jeez, dude, so many.
You're just like, okay, I'm going to make this. This is now my personality. This part of this movie.
Number one, the 55 Chevy from American Graffiti, blacktop, two-lane blacktop. That goes without saying. I mean, I've always liked the 55 Chevys. I've never been a fan of 57s because there's always so many of those built.
But you need a kind of a mild gasser looking.
Yeah. But at the same time, there's also been movies with 40 wheelies.
You said that, okay, you're saying that in the same breath. So that was actually the same car?
Oh, yeah. I thought that was common knowledge for everybody that the black 55 Harrison Ford American Graffiti is the same one that they use throughout two-lane blacktop.
Okay.
They just fixed the roof on it after they rolled it in. Actually, they rolled a secondary car. They pulled a car out of the junkyard to roll it in American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And then used the hero car in the next movie.
Okay. That's why it's like all kind of matte black instead of shiny black.
Yeah, it's supposedly primer
movie.
and all that
primer,
stuff.
Okay.
What's his name from Hot Rod Garage?
His blasphemy.
Yeah.
Blasphemy
is based on that kind of a build and premise and stuff like that.
That's an incredible car.
It is.
Because he's got the Mopar engine in this 55 Chevy, which is a...
But that's what everybody did back then was pull those Imperial...
Finnegan from Hot Rod Garage.
Pull those Imperial Hemis out and throw them in anything. 40s Willys, that is my first, I don't know, dream car. If I can have an all-steel Willys body.
Okay.
Golly gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Golly gosh.
I dig that.
Those movie cars are awesome because they did stupid things, and you could see in some scenes where the wheel goes kink, but they like cut the scene right before they fix it and they have it in the next scene.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that's the car you take home then from any kind of movie?
Until I remember another cool car that I didn't think of right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Christine, that Plymouth Fury, dude. For whatever reason, just that big thing. As I float my hand through the air like it's going down the highway at 180 miles an hour, and just solid as a rock, and you barely moving it, you know.
It's an autonomous vehicle. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It drives itself.
So, how could you not enjoy that kind
it's
of
years ahead of its time. Yeah, it'd be funny just to Instead of calling them autonomous vehicles, we just call them haunted vehicles now. Your Tesla's haunted.
What do you mean? It drives by itself, doesn't
It's
it?
got new Ford's new Blue Cruise haunted driving app. It's
Right?
amazing.
The Mach-E.
It chases you down and to get you to your destination in an efficient and friendly, safe manner.
The Mach-E.
It's like a friendly ghost. Yes.
It's a monster E.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, back to Batman.
I was going to ask you what would be your favorite, but I already know the answer.
What do you think? I would say. I kind of already said
Probably
it,
the Adam West Batmobile.
I don't. Okay, here's my problem with Adam West Batman.
Oh shit! I
don't
said
really
the wrong
love
thing.
George Barris. The George Barris, he kept saying that he was this car builder. He said that he built all these amazing things, but
The Monkey Mobile.
he didn't build the Monkey Mobile. He said he built the Monkey Mobile. Other people built it, and he bought it, and then used it as his own thing, and then called it his creation.
Did he do the Red Baron and the Monster Mobile?
He did those like Dragula or whatever, those cars and stuff. He did some of those things. Yeah,
For the Monsters show or the
Yeah.
Addams Family and
for sure. If you need a brass lantern on a car, then call George Barris, man.
What about his
he's
Rivy?
up there. His what?
his Rivy. He didn't have a brass lantern on his Riviera.
Okay. But if I was in the market for brass kerosene lanterns on my vehicle to light my way, I don't know anybody better than George Barris to go to do it.
I want to argue that.
Okay, thank you. And
Didn't mean to get you all worked out.
he didn't design the Batmobile. Lincoln designed the Batmobile. It was a Lincoln Futura concept car.
President Lincoln did?
The car company is named after President Lincoln.
You know, he was 300 matches wrestling undefeated.
I know. Everybody knows that.
He's a badass.
And but that Lincoln Futura car, George Barris just painted it, and then added phones and things and sirens to it. So he didn't design the Batmobile.
So what I keep hearing you say is George Barris has no creativity.
He's a great marketeer, and he's just kind of a Las Vegas guy, I guess, is all I'm saying. I don't find him to be innovative.
He's the, what is it?
But he says he was innovative.
He's the Pit My Rides of the 60s.
That's pretty good. I like that. That's a real. The new George Barris is that Count Customs,
Oh, yeah.
is when I see that show, I go, okay, this seems...
But that guy is really smart and really talented.
The
He
Count
just
Customs
turns out...
guy? Okay, maybe not.
He just turns out some questionably...
Maybe it's just a different style.
It's a questionable stuff, though. I mean, what's the functionality in
He
some
did
of that?
have Elvira on that show, too, and that was a
Cassandra?
great episode. And she drove around in her... He redid her Thunderbird, and it was actually way better. And they drove around the strip with her in...
Full costume?
She showed up to the shop in full costume on that episode. I highly recommend that one episode.
She is not attractive at all. I don't know why you would watch that.
It's yeah.
That is...
Yep, she's wonderful and funny. Anyways, yeah, dude, I mean, you have to go Batmobile, the Tumbler. I think that's the best car ever made. And it goes with your trophy truck thing and everything. It has big, independent, articulated front arm suspension with those oversized tires, TSL Super Swampers in the back, 4 of them, and a turbine, and it can jump. And it can, bridge. It used to be a bridging vehicle, but the bridge didn't work out. But this baby works just fine, as Lucius Fox said in the movie.
Well, James Bond had the AMC that went over the bridgeless gap, too. So, I don't know.
AMC.
He even did a barrel roll when he did it. So
AMC's the same thing as the Tumbler Batmobile. That AMC didn't save a bunch of lives in Gotham and stop the Joker's or the Scarecrow's fear toxin from polluting the whole thing, and Joker from exploding a ferry and destroying another population of innocents and prisoners. Nope. He did it all with the Batmobile, the Tumbler, okay? And then you're comparing it to
James Bond saving the
some
sheriff,
cartoony pirouetting
stopping all the voodoo guys from poisoning the water and,
that car
and taking over the
can
world.
go down one way on an alley and come out the other way down the alley, okay? That's all its powers are.
So could James Bond.
That car can't drive in a straight line. It can just pirouette and then go down one alley and then pop out the other side and face a different direction. That's it. The tumbler is bulletproof, saved Rachel from dying from poison, jumps through waterfalls and fountains, through car parks, machine guns, everything.
Well, the Lotus went underwater and saved Raquel Welch, so whatever.
Okay.
And it was bulletproof.
Fair. Okay, fair.
And it was
right.
bulletproof.
I rescind my anger. I'll talk to... Yeah.
It's not anger, it's passion. It's passion. No anger there.
It's cartoon
All
anger.
passion. It's cartoon anger. You fucker.
But yeah, I think the Tumbler is the best car ever made.
I don't know, dude. Now that I think about it again, there's some of those James Bond cars that were, pretty freaking cool. That
Doesn't Elon Musk own the Elan that went?
I think so, yeah.
Or Spree. I'm sorry, not Elan. The Spree that went down.
The Lotus Esprit, yeah.
That was a submersible.
He has the submersible version of it, whereas the road car, the hero car, is somewhere else.
And that was cool. And I dig that when
Yeah.
it turns into the submarine.
Yeah.
And then when they get on the beach, he rolls down the window and then takes a fish and throws it out the window.
I don't get that.
You're like, how did the fish get in your submarine?
Yeah.
If the fish is getting in, you're dead.
Duh.
You're submerged.
And your totally cool suit is no longer dry.
So I think that had to be in the car before they got in the water.
And he just has it for a stage prop when he pulls out on the beach.
Maybe.
And how
Or
cool
maybe from earlier testing when it did flood. Earlier testing.
right?
With
But
Q
how's it
branch,
still alive?
and then he left it. Was it wiggling? Okay. Because I think it was just the car probably had some puddles in it, maybe with a fish in it, in the car, and then he opened it up and threw this out. And it wasn't, the two scenes were not related. And therefore, totally realistic.
My mind is racing about which car I would pick. I mean, there's the Dabney Coleman movie where he finds out if he dies on the line,
Yeah.
his son gets his inheritance and all that stuff.
We talked about that in an earlier episode. I forgot the name of the movie.
I forget too, but that car just takes a beating.
What kind of car was it?
A Chrysler Newport?
Okay.
Wasn't it an 80s Newport or something like that?
Yeah, that's an attainable car from a movie. Good call.
So there's
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know what I would pick out of all those movie cars.
I would figure you would do like Michael J. Fox. It's his Toyota from Back to the Future.
Well, I just thought of Twisters, the yellow Jeep truck.
Yeah, the Gladiator. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's so many wickedly cool movie cars, vehicles.
You have a black Toyota truck, dude.
I do, yeah.
We could get some yellow KC lights on it and go Back to the Future a spec.
It's the wrong year completely.
Okay.
It's 10 years too new.
Well, then do the LED KC lights.
Compromise. Jeez, Greg.
Yeah, exactly. Also,
Sustained disbelief,
it's
dude.
not exactly. And also, the time is never off or right or wrong because it was a time machine movie. So, come on.
Timing's always correct. You're right. I'm way out of line. I apologize.
And maybe we should end the episode there with an apology.
It's a good timeline.
All right. We'll see you at the movies. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Subscribe and pay attention.
Yeah, and if you have any questions or you have a funny story, you can text us through the description on the episode description on Apple Podcasts or any podcast, really.
What's your favorite movie car?
Yeah, what's your favorite movie car? And tell us that we're wrong or if we're right in those comments.
Yeah,
Thanks,
please.
guys, and have a wonderful day.
Wonderful day.